One of the key things I did was to have them each have inputs that needed to be defined. So there's not just one fixed way to use it. You have to define a threshold conditions for each of these indicators. And there's also, you can choose something like an early exit, an early reversal, which are explained. And by doing that, you can turn these indicators into your own sort of approach, which is very important because I don't want to go counter to my own advice. I always tell people, don't just get a trading system and follow it. Don't buy somebody else's trading system and follow it, because the odds are you're not going to last, because as soon as it has a bad period, and every system has a bad period, you're going to abandon it because it's not yours. So I made these so that they can be combined, they can be used together, they can be used, you can vary each one. And so two different users can develop completely different signals off of the same indicators. And that was critical because one of the essential points is that users need to make these, to choose the parameters that go with these approaches so that they fit the way they are comfortable trading the markets. And when you do anything, one thing that's good about TradeShark is that you can actually see, like you could do stuff, which I do in the videos, is like anytime there's a buy signal, it's shaded green. Anytime there's a sell signal, it's shaded red. And it's neutral, it's, let's say, yellow as an example. Well, you can superimpose that on the price chart as a lightly shaded backgrounds, and you can pull in the data, let's say, the last 10 years, and then you can walk through 10 years of data using this particular approach and see exactly how the market did. It's not fitting it to what it did. You could see, had you done this 10 years ago, and theoretically you could have done this 10 years ago, again, because it's based upon stuff that was developed 25 years ago, how it would have performed in a real sense. And so users can get a real sense of what one particular adaptation of these indicators would actually work, and can experiment and see very visually where the buys and sells are coming in.
Yeah, yeah, good one. Well, I'll put a link to those videos in the show notes for this interview. And if you want to access the show notes, just go to chatwithtraders.com/27, and the links will be underneath the interview. But I mean, Jack, we should probably start to wrap things up because we've been going on for a little while now. But before we do this, one last question, and I'm sure you have a ton of great quotes and one-liners which you've picked up over the years, and it wouldn't be right to ask you what's your favorite, but is there just one or two quotes that you would like to leave us with before we wrap things up?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Okay, I'll give you two quotes. I'll give you one quote from one of the people I interviewed, and I'll give you one quote that's my own. Interview from the people I interviewed, and this is the quote, this is what I tell people.